Hey guys, welcome to SS Multimedia. I am Kritika Balakanta, and our lesson for today is fact families with 8 and 9.
So, fact families with 8 and 9. Okay, our objective for today is understanding what fact families of both 8 and 9 are. What they are. So, basically, I'm going to get an easy problem, but if we have like 16 divided by 8, we should draw a model or just solve it in some way and find out what 16 divided by 8 is, which is 2. And if we have 18 divided by 9, this is also equal to 2, because 9 times 2 is equal to 18, and 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So at the end of this lesson, I am hoping that my goal for this lesson is basically to make sure that you guys know what the fact families of both 8 and 9 are, and how to divide 9 and 8 by different numbers. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so for this first question over here, let's try a problem. 32 divided by 8. We have 32 divided by 8. Okay, so 32 divided by 8. That's our problem. And I'll show you how to solve that. Basically, I like drawing models because I like drawing. I'm not the best artist ever, but I just like drawing. And I like drawing models. So, and something I do is I draw 32 circles. And I group them by 8. I divide it into 8 different groups. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to get back to you. Okay, so here I have 32 circles drawn out, 32 circles. And first of all, keep these in mind because I'm going to be using these words a lot today. So when it's horizontal like this, it's a row. And when it's vertical, it's a column. When it's vertical, it is a column. Okay, so now we know that what a row and column is. Let's just get started. So, what I like to do is, I first of all count how many circles are in a row and how many are in a column. So, if we look over here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 circles in a column. And now we're going to look to see how many circles are in a row. So now we're going to look to see how many circles are in a row. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you want to know what the convenient thing is, in our graph over here, in our circles over here, there are 8 circles in the row. That means we can easily just group this by 8 groups. We can easily group that like that into 8 different groups. That is our benefit in this specific graph, this one. When you're drawing it other ways, it doesn't always have to end up like this. You can make it harder and you can have it like different, but I like doing this. You can have it like, suppose we have not 2 times, sorry. Suppose we have 6 divided by 3. We have 6 divided by 3, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose we have 6 circles like that. They're pretty much ovals, but sure. Okay, we have 6 of them like that. Now, you can do one, actually, no. Now, you want to group it into 3 different groups. If you want to group it into 3 different groups, then, how I personally do it when it's randomized like this, I take 2 groups of 3 because I even this out. I divide 6 by 3 evenly. And I circle in 3 circles. To do that, I circle in 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. And I make this a group. Okay. So I make this a group. And again, I circle in another 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Circle in another 3 circles, and I make this a group. And now I count to see how many groups there are. 1, 2. There are 2 groups. So that means 6 divided by 3 equals 2. That is how we can also solve it when it's just randomized circles like this. But these are in order and they're all even, so it's so much more convenient and easier for us. So since it's already really easy, we just do it. We already made one group of 8, and now we count how many circles are in one of the 8 groups. So in one group, one singular group, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 circles in one group. So 32 divided by 8 is equal to 4. 32 divided by 8 is equal to 4. Well, let's type it in because it's more convenient. Okay, we have 4. 32 divided by 8 is equal to 4. But if you want to have more clarity in this, or you don't really get this, you can make different groups as well. Like this, you can make different groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know they're not the perfect circles or ovals like the blue one is, but I'm trying. And anyway, no matter how many times you count this over and over again, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 in each group. So the answer would be 4 no matter what. But if you want to check this and you're still doubtful and you just want to check it, want to double check it, what you can do is you can get rid of the equal sign. So here, I'll write it out here. We have 32 divided by 8 equals 4. 4. Okay, so what I do is I get rid of the equal sign. I ignore the equal sign, I take it away, and I replace it with, not an addition sign, sorry, with a multiplication sign. I replace it with a multiplication sign. And now I take this division sign as well. I take it away. I take the division sign away as well. And here I replace it with an equal sign. And now we have to see what 8 times 4 is. 8 times 4 is basically 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, because multiplication is repeated addition and division is just repeated subtraction, but multiplication is repeated addition. So we have 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Okay, 8 plus 8 is equal to 16. 16 plus 8 is equal to 24. 24 plus 8 is equal to 32. So we got the answer right. That is how you check it. But now that we finished this question and we got 4 as our answer, we should go to the next question. So for our second question we have here, for our second question, we have 45 divided by 9. So for this problem, 45 divided by 9, I'm going to show you a different method to use. It's kind of like graphing. It's basically graphing, but it's not the exact same as this. We're not going to go draw circles. We're not going to draw like 32 circles and graph all these. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to show you a different method, and to show you that, I first need to draw a different kind of graph, and I'll draw it and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I have a little grid kind of thing drawn out here. I know it doesn't have the straightest lines ever, but I tried. So anyway, my method for this, when you have a grid, is I basically count how many squares are in the column. And how many are in the row. I basically count those. So I circle them in. I like circling them in. But first, let's see how many circles are in the column. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so for the column, we have 5 squares. Not circles, squares, sorry. We have 5 squares. And for the row, let's count how many are for the row. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I did not mean to draw this row. Okay, I got rid of the last row because I did not mean to draw that. But if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was supposed to have 9 in the row. We have 9. So now, basically, now that we have that information, we can easily tell just by looking at the column that our answer is 5. Because if you have ever multiplied using grids like these, you know that it's row. You know that it's usually row times column. Well, you might not know that, but I know that. That's a really easy method I use, and it's really clear to understand. But I usually use the row times column method. That's what I call it. So row times column method is basically you multiply the squares that are in the row by the squares that are in the column. And if you use the same method for division, we have a 9. So we have 9 squares in the row. So that means the amount of squares that we have in the column is our answer, which is 5. So let me just type it in. 5. Okay, so the answer is 5. And I knew that because even if you check it, we have 9 in the row. So we have 9 squares in the row and 5 squares in the column. But if you multiply row times column, like it is here, this would be 9 times 5. Row, which is 9, times, we keep the multiplication sign the same, column, which is 5. So 9 times 5 is basically 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. 9 plus 9 is equal to 18. 18 plus 9 is equal to 27. 27 plus 9 is equal to 36. And finally, 36 plus 9 is equal to 45. So we have 45. So that means we got our answer right. That was another method I wanted to show you. So I wanted to show you those 2 different methods. And if you noticed, our whole lesson was fact families with 8, 8, and 9. And we did have fact families with 8. The first question was 8, fact family of 8. And the second question was fact family of 9. So if you noticed, we covered what our lesson was basically about, and we learned 2 different methods. I don't have a name for this method. I'll call it circle method, I guess. No, I'll call it grouping method. Yeah, that's what I'll call this method. I don't have a name for it, so I'll call it grouping method. In the second method, I call it row times column method. So these 2 methods really help you out. I personally like the row times column more than the grouping method. This is more clear. It groups it out really easily, and it's more clear to see and understand what is happening here. This, you can't really see and understand what's happening that easily. You have to do the math. You have to make the grid and you have to fill in the grid to know what you are exactly doing. But I personally like this method better because it's a bit faster than grouping. It's a bit faster, so yeah. Okay, so this last question over here is a problem time question. So this is basically where I give you a question and you either draw the you either do the row times column method or the grouping method. You do either of those to solve the question that I am going to be giving you. And the question I'm going to be giving you is, so actually I'm going to give you two questions and I'll tell you specifically for which one you have to make the row times column, you have to do the row times column method for, and which one you have to do the circles method, not the circles, the grouping method for. So let me just give you two problems. Okay, so the two questions that I have here for you, they're actually a lot easier than most of you might have thought. Most of you might have thought I had done something like 72 divided by 9 or 72 divided by 8 or something crazy like that. But no, I made them easy so that it wouldn't be too hard for you guys. So for this one, do a row times column method. For that one, do the row times column method. And for this one, do the grouping method. So this one is the grouping method. So I wrote these out, pause the video, try these out, and comment down below the answers you got. So I am assuming that you paused the video and tried these two out. But anyway, let's get started. The first one is 24 divided by 8. And for this one, we have to do the row times column method. So I'm going to draw a little square and I'm going to make the grid so that we can just easily fill it out. Okay, for the row times column method, I have a little grid drawn again. So we're going to see how many are in the row and how many are in the column. So first we're going to count the row. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 squares in the row. And in the column, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 in the column. So basically, we multiply 8 times 3. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is equal to, 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is equal to 24. 24. So the answer to this is 3 because we have 3 on this side and we have 3 in the column. So since we have 3 as our answer, that's 24. So since we have 3 as our answer is 3. Equal to, it's better if I type it, equal to 3. Okay. Now we have the grouping. Sorry, not groping. Grouping. Now we have the grouping method. So I'm gonna draw the circles and I'll be back. Okay, so I have the circles drawn out now. And if you notice, what made it convenient is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 circles in the row. And again, if you're wondering why it's so convenient, that's because we're dividing by 9. So we can easily just, let me get another color, we can just easily just do this. We can easily just do that and we have our answer already. It is 2 because 1, 2. Our answer is 2. That's because that's why it's so convenient. We have 9 in the group. We have 9 different groups. We have 9 groups of 2s. So our answer is, let me just erase all this. Our answer is 2. Okay, guys, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. Also, our 4th grade playlist came out, so if you have a friend that's going to 4th grade or is in 4th grade, please tell them to check it out. And also share this video to anyone who might find it useful and helpful. And finally, don't forget to comment down below and give us feedback so we can make our videos better in the future. Alright, that's it. Bye!
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SS Multimedia. Also, click on the notification bell to know when our next video drops.